Okay, welcome to another video, guys. Today we'll be doing more simplifying. So we'll be simplifying a lot more, and we're going to be doing like a lot harder as well, simplifying. So more uh, simplify, simplifying and but harder. So we'll be doing like a lot more complicated stuff. So I'm gonna just basically be doing like a lot more harder stuff, and like I'll explain the rules, and then you guys can try and do the sum, and then you must just make sure as long as you follow the rules, then you should be fine. Start off with our first sum, and that's gonna be more like it's gonna be 3x and then brackets 2x plus 3y. So if you want, you can pause the video now and quickly do the sum, but I'll explain it just now. Okay, so let's just remember that now we're timesing into the brackets. Obviously, that's what we're going to be doing. So 3x times 2x, okay, is 3 times 2 is 6x times x is x squared. Okay, and now we times it by 3y, and then 3 times 3 is 9, and it's positive, and x times y is y, or yx, or xy, whatever you want to put it. It really doesn't matter which way around it goes. So that's the first answer. It's very simple. We're starting from a nice easy one. So if you got it right, remember to hit the like button below. Okay, so now we're going to go to x plus y in a bracket, like squared, in brackets and then squared. Now this won't be a bit complicated. Like some people say x plus y squared, but actually that's not right. So it's not equal to x plus y squared. So now that we know what it's not equal to, let us now calculate it. So you can pause the video and do it yourself, or you can watch me do it. Okay. So now we're saying this bracket is being times twice. Okay, multiplied with itself twice. Okay, well, multiplied and then multiplied, so it's just being multiplied with itself. Okay, so now we say x times x is x squared. X times y is xy, so plus xy. Okay, so now we've done that. Now we do that with the y. Y times x is another xy. Y times y is y squared. So now we have this long term, but we can still simplify it. So even further, so we have x squared. Now these two are like terms, so that's 2xy plus y squared. So that when you simplify it, you get this. So this, you don't really understand what exactly it is. Okay? Here you can see nicely exactly what it is. And that's the nice thing about simplifying. So you can understand the whole sum, but easier. Okay? So now we're gonna go to the next one. Okay? So this one it's gonna be a bit easier. Obviously, now we're just gonna have a. Okay, but this is a cubed and a to the power of 4. So now what is this? It's quite simple because we did exponents in the last video, so you can watch the last video as well. Just remember, when they're times, then the exponents are added. Okay, because it's one, we can times it because it's one term. Okay, so it's a to the power of 3 plus 4, which is equal to a to the power of 7. Which is very nice and simple and easy. That one was easy, okay? So the next one, we're going to go and look at a new law with exponents. So with this one, we have b to the power of negative 2. I was like, okay, it's b to the power of negative 2. What does that mean? This negative makes it a decimal or a fraction mark, okay? So remember, if you say with like scientific notation, it's a 10 to the power of 2, and you have 2. to the power of negative 2, that's 0, 0, 2, I think. Okay, so yeah. So that's what that is. So now we're going to figure out what b to the power of negative 2 is. So b to the power of negative 2. That's quite simple, because actually what you can just do is now it's actually b over 1, okay? Now if we bring it to the next, like to the bottom of the fraction, then we get, now we'll still leave a 1 up there, and then we have b to the power of 2. The negative, when we brought down, becomes a positive, okay? So it's almost the same as with when you bring something over on the other side of the equal sign with working out, solving for x or something like that. Now we have a new sum, which is going to be a bit more complicated. So we have 2m to the power of 3, n to the power of negative 1, and then to the power of 2. So if you want, you can go try this out right now and pause the video, and then you can figure out and see if you get it right. If you do get it right, then that means you better like the video. So we'll have, so now we have this in brackets, okay? Now we're like, okay, remember with exponents that when it's the power to a power, it's times. So we're going to times these two powers, so in 2, so it's basically 2 to the power of 2, m to the power of 3 times 2, and n to the power of negative 1 times 2. That will then equal to 4m to the power of 6, n to the power of negative 2. Now where do we go from here? That's quite easy, because now you think we're done now, but you can still go further, because so that is fine, but you see this negative 2 is a problem, so we just put it in a fraction and n to the power of 2 here at the bottom. Okay, so that was a bit longer and complicated, but I mean it's still quite simple and easy. So next sum we're going to be looking at another law for exponents. So now we'll be looking at 3p to the power of 2 to the power of 0, okay? Now remember, anything to the power of 0 is 1, meaning this whole bracket is going to equal to 1. So we can just as well say 3 and in the bracket 1, or we don't even have to have the bracket, and then we just say 3 times 1, and that will just equal to 3 again. So if you really wanted to do it, then you just say p to the power of 2 times 0, okay, because these two times, which means that p to the power 2 times 0 is equal to p to the power of 0, which is totally equal to 1. So that's basically what happened here in the bracket, okay, but we can just as well say the whole bracket is going to equal to 0 in any case, so it's just easier to say that. Okay, now we're going to be doing another really hard one, okay? The next few are going to be hard, okay? So we have m squared to the power, okay? Sorry. Okay, we have m to the power of minus 3, n to the power of 2, times negative m to the power of 2 times n to the power of 3, okay? Now, okay, but that's not just it, that's not it, okay? Then we have negative m to the power of minus 1 to the power of n to the power of minus 1. Okay, not to the power of n, but like times n to the power of negative 2. Okay, now it's like, okay, this is a big sum, okay? Where do we start? Okay, so what we can start doing is saying, okay, these two minuses cancel out. So, those minuses aren't there, okay? Now, let's do the top part first, okay? So we say m times, okay, so that means it's m to the power of negative 3 plus 2 and n to the power of 2 plus 3. That's equal to over m to the power of negative 1 and n to the power of negative 2. Okay. Now what you can do is, okay, so that's m to the power of okay, so we can just say that was m to the power of negative 1 because negative 3 plus 2 is equal to negative 1, and n to the power of 5. Okay, now when we divide, we subtract, so m to the power of negative 1 minus 1, okay, and then n to the power of negative 2 of 5, okay, minus 1, okay, remember this is minus 1, okay, and then minus 2. So m to the power of minus 1, okay, that's just as well saying in plus 1, and this is also saying 5 plus 2, okay, and then so minus 1 plus 1 is n to the power of 0, and n to the power of 7, and so we can just as well say that's equal to 1, and we don't even have to have the 1 over there for the thing. So basically it's equal to n to the power of 7. Now we have another sum, which is x to the power of 2 plus 4x plus 4 over x to the power of 2 minus 4. Okay, this one, now we can look at factorizing here, okay? So we can factorize this top one, which is x, okay? And then we have another x, and these are plus, okay? And we can just say x squared minus 4, okay? And here at the bottom, we factorize as well, actually. But, yeah, it's differences of two squares, which is 2 and 2, okay? Now on the top, okay, we have x squared, okay, we have 4 and 4, so 2 times 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 plus 2 is also 4, so there everything stays 2, but now we can see, oh, these two are the same, so they cancel out, so we can just have x plus 2, okay, well, we don't even have to have brackets, okay, over x minus 2, and that's the whole sum. Okay, so that one was also simple enough to also get done and everything, and now we have one last sum, which is going to be a bit more difficult, but it's got to do with fractions as well. Okay, so now we have our last and final sum, which is going to contain fractions. Okay, so we have 4x x squared minus 1 6xy plus 3 over 8y squared. Okay, so it's quite a long sum, like if you just look at it. But now, the first thing that we want to do is find a common denominator, okay? So, we have 4, 6, and 8, and x squared, and y squared, and xy. So we know that it's going to be a number, x squared, y squared, okay? Now, 4 can go into 24 6 times. 6 can go into 24 4 times. 8 can go into 24 3 times. So we're going to make it all with the same denominator. So it's going to be 24 x squared y squared, and then we're going to have the sum on top. Now, now we have to know, 4 times x squared, is to get 4x squared to 24x squared y squared, we had to times by y squared, and the 6. 3 times 6 is 18, and then y squared, okay? Now we have a minus, okay? So to get 1, to get 6xy, you have to times it by 4xy. So negative 1, so it's going to be a minus. Positive times a minus is a minus. Okay, minus 4xy. okay, and then we're going to have plus, okay, and then to get 8y squared, so 8 times 3, okay, so we have 9, then we have to times it by x squared. If you take a look at this, we have no common terms, if you look at the terms, and we can't divide it because of the minus and plus operators in the above the fraction, okay, in the top part, okay. So basically this is our simplified version. Now it might not look simpler than this, but because we have a common denominator, it's already easier to know what's going on. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and that you'll be able to learn more and be able to understand everything that's going on in maths and simplification and stuff, to be able to understand it more. And as long as you follow all the laws and rules, then you should stay right on track. So please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in my next video.